Hello guys, I have brand new Christian Louboutin Teint Fetiche Fluid Foundation. This is a brand new high-end luxury foundation, and so this is how packaging looks like. When it comes to specification of this foundation, this is made in Italy with 12 months shelf life. But first of all, let's talk about this packaging. This packaging is everything. This bottle looks so luxurious. It is like it's glass, so it's kind of a heavy. It is gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. When I read about the formulation and the finish of this foundation, I kind of was skeptical, just because my personal preference are at the moment, has been for a while, foundations that are super sheer, lightweight, and infused with the good skincare ingredients, right? So this one claims to be full coverage, and you can build it up as well. It is supposed to have smooth, luminous, matte finish with a high coverage that will last you 24 hours and that is transfer resistant. It is also supposed to be hydrating and vegan. Once you take off the cap, obviously it has its logo here, and we also have golden pump, which, yeah, I think you can even open this. The consistency of this product, it's not liquidy. It pretty much, when you press squeeze the pump, it stays in place. But it really feels lightweight, and we'll go throughout the whole demonstration and wear test later. So the cost of this foundation is $78. It's pretty pricey, and even more when you calculate the shipping and everything. At the moment, I don't think this is available in America. In Europe, it is available. I managed to get my hands on this one from the online shop. And we'll talk about the swatches as well. I know it is super confusing, and hopefully this will be helpful, at least to get you an idea of the certain shade, how it looks. My shade is NW15, Neutral Warm, Creamy Nude. This product contains 30 milliliters, and like I mentioned, it is made in Italy with 12 months shelf life. 30 milliliters is kind of a standard amount of the product that we get in general. We have 30 shades online, and of course, especially when you spend this much money, you do want to get it, make sure that you get your perfect shade, or at least the closest one to you. Now, when I was choosing my shade, I didn't look at the bottle color. I didn't look at this, that single swatch that was against the blank canvas. No. That was so confusing, because if you take certain shade and just look at the one swatch, first of all, it doesn't match the swatches on the legs, which, by the way, I know either you like it or don't. I don't mind that. I really think it's, I'll just say it's pretty cool if you ask me. But the main indicator for me was not even necessarily the shade descriptions, but it was the shade that was compared one next to each other on the leg swatch. That's what was my guideline. Everything else was just terrible. And it's hard. If you go online, or if you were online, you'll know what I'm talking about. So my suggestion would be to just, besides obviously want to see a review, and it hopefully will help you for the swatches, but look at those swatches. First of all, determine in which category is yours, depending on the depth. So we have 3 categories. Mine is obviously the first one. So when I looked at the swatches, give me a second. So first of all, I determined my category, and then I went on the single swatch from one leg, and I knew my undertone, because I do love the either neutral or cool tone undertones for the foundation. I am running away from the anything warm in foundation. But then you may ask, why did I choose NW? And that is because they didn't, in the number 15, they only had 15 cool tone and 15 neutral warm, or 15 warm. They didn't have 15 neutral. If they had 15 neutral, I would go for that one. And because when I compared neutral warm towards, for example, the next one would be 20 neutral. I was leaning more towards this one. And I thought because I'm really light at the moment, it's safer to go with a lighter shade, you know. But basically number 15 is, if I compare this, I would compare the number with the MAC foundation. So if I'm choosing MAC foundation, I would be 15 as well in the depth when it comes to shade number. So maybe that's another guideline that would help you. But again, I had to look towards these swatches, compare them one next to each other. Everything else wasn't that much helpful. And that shade ended up being pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It is a little bit having a yellow. It's yellow toned, which I don't mind because in general, I'm really red in my face. So again, I'm running away from anything that is like having a super warmth in it, you know. Also, what seems to be the problem is that between certain shades, we do have we have from the lightest to the darkest shade, from 05N to 80N. But the thing is, everything in between, sometimes we have either shades that look super close, or at least on the swatches, or we have a big jump between certain shades. I'm guessing until we have like live swatches one next to each other, it's hard to even see if that's the case. But let me just see now. I'm gonna just take another less than a pump, and you can control how much you take the product, which is pretty cool. Now when I swatched this shade that I have, I would say it's pretty much accurate, meaning 15 warm would be really yellow compared to this, and 15C is having so much kind of a rosiness in it, so I'm not sure how that one would work out for me. Maybe that one would be good as well, but 20C, it seems like it may be even better for me. Like that one will be perfect once I'm a little bit deeper in my skin tone. Too bad I didn't have 15 neutral, just neutral, you know. But yeah, now when I'm looking at a deeper shade range, I can agree that especially here from 60W, 70W, it's such a big jump to 75N. It's like we have nothing in between, and it's like too big of a jump in the color depth. At least that is how it's presentable on the swatches itself. Also, this foundation does not have SPF, so make sure whenever you're using this foundation to have an SPF underneath your everything else actually you're going to use for the makeup, which is really important. I also did apply today my Clarins 50 plus SPF underneath this product. I will also compare this one. A lot of you would love to see comparison between Prada and this foundation. So this is one thing that's been on my mind for my new uploads. So stay tuned for that one as well. So without any further ado, if you want to see the application and also the full day wear test to see if this is worth your money, please keep on watching. Good morning, everyone. Coffee's here. I feel really comfy. It's going to be a long day. I'm gonna do a wear test and try to keep this foundation as long as I can on my face, that we can see how it acts throughout the day. Shade that I'm gonna be showing you is called 15NW Neutral Warm, and it's called Creamy Nude. This packaging, it's everything. It is so beautiful, so luxurious. First things first, I wanted to say that today I'm not gonna use any primer. I will try to keep this foundation on its own as much as I can. That means I'll try to avoid all additional products that I usually do in my full face routine, just to see what are we going to get with this new foundation formula. So I don't want to disrupt this foundation with anything, or with the minimal things that I have to do, that I know that it won't intervene with the formula to make something off, so that I know for a fact how it works. Now, as usual, I did my skincare routine, and I did use today, and I wanted to share because I've been using something for a while now. It's been a couple of months, I think. So for my cream today, I used Dermalogical. This is like their kind of a regular type of their cream. This is skin smoothing cream, which is really rich and thick in the texture, and it really, I have a dry skin, so it helps me to keep the moisture, keep my skin moisturized throughout, even throughout the day. One thing that I wanted to share with you, so as far as I know, they do have like different types of products based on one ingredient, and these are all Immortelle based products. They have creams, serums, tonics, I don't know everything that I have, but why am I mentioning this? I do love to I'm almost done with this bottle, and this is actually going like really smooth on my face. So Divinum Hera is actually a Croatian brand, and I would love to try more from them, and this is my #1 product at the moment to use around my eyes. And obviously for the most part I do use heavy products as well, waterproof products, and when I have to take off my makeup, even though I use oil-based remover, once I'm done with it, my skin around, especially around my eyes, is so dry. And this is one of the really rare things that when I use it on my lids, and this area around your eyes is so sensitive, I don't feel anything. Like, it doesn't give me any irritation, redness, nothing. It's just nourishing my eye area, and that is something that I really love. And I just wanted to share that I use this, especially this is my #1 for my around the eyes, so just wanted to share that. I've been using this, like I said, for a while now, and it's glorious. Anyways, I mentioned that I'm not gonna be using primer. This foundation, however, it doesn't have SPF, so before I apply my foundation, I will use, this is Clarine's Dry Touch Sun Care Cream, and it has SPF of 50. It's very high, it has very high protection. So even if your foundation has SPF, it is good to apply it directly like this, especially if we are talking about summertime and the times that we are going to be a lot outside. So I'm going to spread this all around my face. Once that step is done, what I do always is using corrector, and for now I'm just quickly gonna use this one a little bit underneath my eye. So for me, concealer is something that I use to give a light to my face, to lift and to kind of avoid that just one color tone when we apply foundation, right? So I go with the lights and with the darks, but I don't rely necessarily on my concealer to cover my under eye area. It's just not how it works. So I'm just gently going to apply this one just where my dark circles are, and instantly it makes your appearance look much more, makes you kind of awake, refreshes you, right? I'm gonna use my small beauty blender, and the product that I'm using is Ilamasca Emerge Corrector in shade Emerge. That's my go-to. The shade is this, and even when I'm darker in my face and super light, it works perfectly. Obviously you have different shades as well for you to choose whichever you prefer. So this is high coverage foundation. If you are asking me my personal preference, if I would go and buy anything for myself, I wouldn't go for high coverage. I personally love more and more, I enjoy lightweight foundation, almost like skin tints with a luminous finish. Not necessarily super radiant, but that their coverage is not heavy and they don't feel heavy. High coverage, luminous matte finish. Let me show you how this shade looks like. So let me show you what we get with one pump. This is the consistency, and this is how it looks like. It is kind of it stays in place, you know, but at the same time it feels airy. It's not like it's super heavy just because it's not kind of a liquidy, and it just goes away when you push just one pump. And in a second, I want to see if it oxidizes as well. So just so that you can know the difference. So the first one is been here for a while, and this, so once I apply this shade, I think that's what I've got. So here's what I'm gonna do. One side, I will apply this foundation with a brush, and the other one with the beauty blender. That's something that I usually love to do to see the difference and the comparison. And kind of a wear test throughout the day. I'm gonna go in with this is one of my favorite brushes. This is Real Techniques sculpting brush. This is the second one that I already bought, but the thing is, this is not that old, and it's been, I don't know why, it's already losing its original shape, and I feel so sad about it, and I have to purchase another one. So this is the shade 15 NW. My first thought was that this is going to be a little bit too yellow for me, and the lightness, it's pretty good, but we'll see. I don't think it will be too yellow once I spread it or blend it. I'm just using my brush. And one other thing that I wanted to do, my hand cream is having really strong scent, so I'm trying to comprehend like what is the scent of this foundation. Okay, it's giving like really light scent. It's nothing too crazy, but it definitely has the scent. I'm trying to remember what does it remind me of, you know? Okay, this area right here is so light. I'm so light during winter. I'm thinking really soon to do comparison of my Prada foundation, so stay tuned for that. I think I almost used all bottle, you guys. The shade, it's not gonna match me 100%. I bought this during summertime, so it's going to be way darker, but we'll manage. Even if the shade is off, you can still see like the texture and everything. So once I use product like with the brush like so, and it's going to cover all the redness, I think. So for the high coverage, once I blend it, it's not like, it does have coverage, I can say. Like it has coverage, but it's not feeling heavy. It's not looking cakey. It still gives me opportunity to shear this down. Let me cover everything, and once I go on this side, we'll see if it's going to cover this as well. I just want to say now, when I look at the swatches, those leg swatches, so I went for 15 NW, which I'm glad that I didn't go with a darker shade, which is 20 neutral. So I was debating between those two, but they didn't have 15 neutral. If they have 15 neutral, I will go with that one for sure. And I don't know what's the reason why they didn't do that. I don't know. Okay, so this is pretty much one layer. So this is one side. I would say that this is like a pump and a half. So this side is with, and this one is without. And what do we think? Now when I look at it really up close, like it did cover, for the most part, it did cover like imperfections. Shade is not too bad for me. I just wish it does have a little bit, personally, a little bit less yellowness in it, if that makes sense. But once I apply everything else, it's gonna come together really good. Now I wanna see what happens once I build this, like maybe additional pump or so, especially now when I'm using brush, to see what's going to happen. And right here, I like to use my finger, and that way everything kind of smooths out even more. I want to let this sit for a while to see any difference. I'm going to apply the foundation on this side right now. One last final look at everything. It doesn't feel heavy, sticky, anything. It's really lightweight coverage. It's really lightweight feel to it. So let's go with the sponge. I am not going directly with the product on a sponge, especially when you are using super expensive foundations. You do want to try to save it as much as you can. And this way now, because the sponge will absorb so much of a product, this way it's easier. The sponge will absorb so much of a product, you guys. So now I will diffuse the product with my sponge, and if I went directly using product on my sponge, it will absorb even more product actually than needed. And that way you're gonna waste a lot of the expensive product. Okay, going once again, one step at a time. I really want to let this product to really soak into the skin. This is a bit more time-consuming version to do your makeup, but yeah, I mean your foundation at least. So this is the one that I prefer because of the finish. And I don't think I'm gonna get high coverage either way when I'm using sponge. And honestly, that is something that I like. Do not forget the ears, especially during winter. If you get out and you did not cover your ears, but you're wearing full face makeup, it's gonna look kind of ridiculous having like red ears. That's the first thing you're gonna be able to spot. Usually I would cover blemishes or anything like that with a concealer, but I think we can cover it with this foundation. I still need, yeah. I'm going to use brush here to add product. And now I'm going to use my beauty blender. I can say that it covered a little bit, especially the redness, but I will definitely use my concealer for this. It's much more appropriate. I definitely like the finish. So here we have 2 layers with the brush, and here we have just 1 layer with the beauty blender. And I wanna add additional product as well, especially because I'm using beauty blender. So this is going to be 4th or 5th pump, I'm not sure. I did use a lot, but that happens a lot of the time for the demonstration purposes. I do have now, at this step, I do have product on my beauty blender already. So kind of I can, at this point, use a little bit directly from my arm. So this is the final look with the beauty blender. What do I think? Obviously right here I do need concealer. I didn't apply foundation there, and I will not. I will go with my concealer, but I love this semi-luminosity. It's like light within. It's not super matte. I hope it will stay. I hope it will stay this way, but I'm guessing it's going to soak in a little bit. We'll see throughout the check-ins, but this is how it looks like. I'm loving it. We'll see how much it will settle into fine lines and what else is going to happen. I feel like, as always, I do prefer a little bit. I do prefer this beauty blender side. I don't know, maybe you on camera watching this will be preferring this one. But for me, in real life, it's not that big of a difference, honestly, but still, it's fine. I love both sides. My preference is still this side, but I love them both. Anyways, right now, what I am going to do, I'm gonna go in with my Lancome Serum Concealer. This one is really lightweight. It's my favorite concealer, but because shade that I have is too dark, I will lighten it up with the Dior Backstage in 0W. I'm still not fully done with my eye makeup look. I still have to finish everything. When it comes to rest of the face products, like I said, I will try to keep this as much as I can focused on today's foundation for the review purposes. I was thinking to set just one side of the face and leave the other one as it is. Usually I do not like, especially for my under eye area, I do not like heavy products, matte products, so I went with a little bit more luminosity kind of, especially because I feel and I can see this is starting to dry a little bit, this foundation. We will also do a transfer test in a second. Okay, this has been sitting for almost 5 minutes on my face, and I want to do a first round of a transfer test. And sometimes this can be the excess that stayed while applying your product. We always should take out the excess of the product. That's why I like Beauty Blender. I don't like any excessive foundation product to stay on my face. Let's do this side. I can feel how dry it is, you know? Sorry, not dry, dried down. It dried down and it's not feeling dry or anything like that. So that's good. One thing I want to do is to apply my Charlotte Tilbury. This is Matte Beauty Blush Wand in shade Pillow Talk, and this is my favorite and my go-to. And why I'm going to use this one is because this one is liquid and it dries down. So I feel like this formula will go really good with what we have here. This is great. I really should grab other shades as well. So this one is that I highly recommend. It's not too vibrant, it's not too cool tone or warm toned, it's just beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it. It blends beautifully, and let's see how it's going to blend. And definitely use more. And this is how it looks like. Let's go once again. Because I'm using same brush that I applied my foundation with, I don't know, I think it kind of diffused the color a little bit. I think this is enough. And for my contour, I will just apply it tiny bit on the edges. Cream Contour Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick, Makeup by Mario, medium dark. Everything applies so kind of smooth and soft. It's really really nice. One area that I have to set is this under eye area. It will not disrupt anything for this foundation, but I'm thinking if I want to apply just a little bit of highlighter, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. Maybe just at the end of the day or something to see how it's going to work, or on my other wear test, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I wanted to see how this foundation works on its own, you guys. So I'll finish everything that I can and I will be back with my check-in. Hey guys, so this is around a little bit over 1 hour mark that I've been wearing this foundation. I've been outside, and yeah, the only thing that I changed actually that I applied was my lip liner. And also I just wanted to quickly see what is going on with the foundation. I didn't apply any highlighter. Just like I mentioned for today's review test, just trying to keep everything as little additional products that I can. So looking up real close, what I can see here, I think the foundation set up a little bit in my fine line. That was just a tiny bit, and everything else, you guys, is just pretty much the way it was. When it comes to finish, it's still picking up a little bit of luminosity, which is great. I don't know how this will work for you if you are having oily skin, but keep in mind, I didn't set my face. The only thing I set was this under eye area, so that's pretty cool. Let me see. Again, I'm just going to try to see transfer, if I have any transfer here, because here I have my blush. Trying to figure out what it was right here. Let me see. Oh, nothing's coming off actually. I did apply a little bit here when I did my liner around my lips. I did apply a little bit of product, so I think that's it. And let me go and see, just to check my forehead, but I don't think anything will come out, and I'm really pressing. Yeah, so basically no transfer. If anything, is just like tiny bit of a transfer. Ignore this. So yeah, I will check in probably within the next couple of hours as well. It is 3.5 mark of wearing this foundation, and so far that much more that's been settled here. I did have a red lipstick, so I think I messed up a little bit here. Foundation around my mouth area. Everything stayed pretty much the same, especially my forehead area and this area right here. The only thing I can see around here, around my nose area, it's kind of if it sits on top. This is how it looks like. Oh, I just wanted to just read something that's back here on the packaging as well. It says that it's 24 Comfort Longwear Flawless Foundation infused with amethyst, breathable, high coverage, luminous matte finish, 24-hour comfort. And this is our 3.5 mark that I'm wearing foundation, and I am outside. And here I am outside. I didn't realize that some of you asked for me to film how this foundation looks as well when I am not in the artificial light as well. Okay, it's been a little bit less than 7 hours since I am wearing this foundation, and FYI, I in the meantime realized I did not put any fixing spray, and this is how it stays on my skin without anything. It is pretty much the same. If anything diffused, it's this area right here around my nose, in front of my nose a little bit, not around my nose, sorry. So it's really, really promising for this foundation to stay on its own like this. Really happy. It did settle a little bit in my face, but like for the most part, other foundations do that as well, but right here I can say how it stayed pretty much clean and it's not looking or feeling heavy, cakey or anything. And I applied, like, this is high coverage foundation, and I apply more than I usually would, so I cannot wait for application all of other products on top of this to see how it's going to react. You know what, I'll check in within the extra, I think around next 2 hours or so. I will check in. That will be my last checking for today's video. But honestly, guys, so far, like kind of impressed in a good way. Overall, considering that this hasn't been a set foundation, it really stays, and I've been running today throughout this whole day, and I really like the way how it stands on its own without setting spray, without setting powder or anything. So we'll do additional tests as well next time. I'm liking this foundation. I'm not gonna say like this is my top favorite foundation at the moment. I still want to test it and try it and see how it combines, but so far I'm pretty much liking it. So I haven't filmed this video yet, but if you are watching this video a couple of days after it was published, then make sure to watch this video where I compare Prada foundation with this brand new Christian Louboutin foundation. Before you leave, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button because that helps to spread videos like this to more people. And if you like this content, that makes me happy in a sense that I can bring some value to you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. It's been a long day and I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know your comments in the comment section down below and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.